Hello, hello. We are back. Hello, hello. It is day 8. Welcome, welcome to Jinsden Art. We are live. Say hello when you get here. Welcome, welcome. Anybody here today? Yes, we have people here. Yay. Hello, Miss Ellen. Hello, Miss Sandy. Tell us where you're watching from. Hello, Tracy.
Oh, we got a lot of people on Facebook.
From North Carolina.
Maryland.
I go to click on one and it's scrolling by so fast I miss it. Hello, Donna. Is there sound? Somebody said no sound. Can y'all hear us? From California, from Indiana, from North Carolina, South Carolina, New Jersey, Kentucky. Can y'all hear us? Mississippi. Yeah, Michael says she can hear us. Okay.
Liz can hear us. Margaret can hear us.
Yay! Woohoo! Come on in, come on in. Are y'all ready for day 2 of our floral painting? We are having so much fun. Make sure you go back and watch day 1. Today is day 2. We are probably going to have, and Michael is here. Forgot to introduce Michael to say hello. We are probably going to have most of this done today, and tomorrow will just be like cleaning it up and getting all of our shadows right. Our highlights are the last thing that we're going to do. So today we are going to continue. Now I want to show you, this is day 1 and this is day 3. Okay, so we have a lot of catching up to do in between those 2 days, right? Are y'all ready to get started? I think y'all are ready to get started. A couple of announcements before we get started. I just want to remind you, this is free for the entire month of February if you are in my email list. On February 11th, I will be sending you the link to the private free material for the rest of February. From February 1st through 10th, it is free to anyone. You don't even have to be an email subscriber. Okay. So it's going to change after the 10th. It's going to, the link is going to change. There's going to be a brand new link to get into the hub. And that hub will only be available for subscribers to my email. So if you are not a subscriber, let me go grab the link. I'm not sure if Cindy's here.
She is. She just said hello on Facebook.
Okay. Oh, awesome. So Cindy, if you could grab the link and put it in the live, I would really appreciate that so that they can join my email list to get the link on February 11th to keep free access to this for the month of February. Okay? So here we go. Y'all don't need to see my face. Y'all need to see the actual painting. So let's get that going.
Frozen.
I know why you can't hear me. I'm here. Okay, is that better? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Are we back? Yes. Okay, Thank you. That was my fault. I clicked on the wrong thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's hope it goes a little bit better than the beginning as we go. All right, so if you remember yesterday, we did all of this. If you missed it, you know, questions about why I use red and all of that is just a personal choice. And you can watch the replay on all of that to see why I used red. So today what we're going to do is we're just going to continue making our flowers as we go. And we're probably going to start bringing in, we're going to bring in our light turquoise for our background as well. But let's go ahead and get some more flowers in here, and let's review our colors that I'm using. My cadmium yellow is dirty. I'm probably going to have to get some clean one. So this is a cadmium yellow, all right, titanium white. This is ultramarine blue. This is Hooker's green, or just any green. This is cadmium red. This is a mixture that we mixed yesterday of cadmium red and yellow. Okay, this is just an orange that I pulled. You don't even have to have that orange. This is a turquoise. It's called bright aqua green. That's the specific one that I'm using here, and that's what I used down here. And that's it. And then I have just a little bit of black. You can't even see it. I have a little bit of black right here. This is still my same palette from yesterday. I just covered it up. It's my Stay Wet palette. And I'm just going to start using it again today. Okay. Now, one of the colors I don't have out here is like a purple. So you can either grab a purple, and I'm going to just grab one to show you maybe one of the options that you would like. That's a really pretty purple.
Did you do the link that you said?
Yeah, I put it in the, I thought I did.
Oh, you put it in Facebook?
I put it in, yeah, it's in Facebook.
Okay, the 101.
It should be showing up. It starts with bit.ly, HTTPS. Yeah, there it is.
Okay, gotcha.
It starts with bit.ly and then /acrylic 101. That's the link for the emails.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's a purple that you can use. But what I've been kind of teaching y'all is if you take a palette knife and you want to use a limited palette like I have here, and you want a purple, then one of the things you could do is you could take your, you know what color, I'm going to put it over here so you can see, you know what colors make purple, right? Is blue and red. So if I take some blue and some red and I mix those two together, then you're going to get a purple if you're using the right blues and reds. So here's another example of what I showed you yesterday. You see how it's kind of muddy? It's not really that purple, and that's because of the red I'm using. It is purple. I mean, you can see it's almost like a lilac purple. Okay, but it's not a real vibrant purple. All right, see that? So what I'm going to show you again, like I did yesterday, is this quinacridone red is just my go-to. I'm going to put a little bit of that quinacridone red there. And then I'm going to take my ultramarine blue, which I'm going to need to get some more in a minute. And I'm going to mix those two together. And that, y'all, that quinacridone red, I just want to tell y'all, it's a little miracle worker. It's like a, I don't know, I just really, really love it. So you can kind of see, I don't know if y'all can see that. You see how much more vibrant? Probably need some more blue. See how much more vibrant that is? And I'm going to add some white to it so y'all can see it even better. It's almost like a magenta. Isn't it pretty? Okay, so it is kind of like a magenta. But if you add more, let's see if I have it right here. If you add more blue, which I'm out of blue, so I'm adding more blue.
What brand is that quinacridone red.
Utrecht. Utrecht. If you add some more of the blue, it'll come to that vibrant. See now what I've got? You can see better. And then look, this and this is almost the same exact color now. See it? It's actually just about the same exact color. So if you play around with your colors, you can learn how to make a color without having to buy the color. And that's a perfect example right there. Okay? But you do have to play around with your colors. Okay? You have to like make yourself a color chart, which we talk about that in my membership, how to make a color chart and all that good stuff. So I am glad I mixed that because I love this purple right here. So I'm going to use that purple. If you don't have the colors that I had to mix this together, another color that would work really well is called Prism Violet. And it's a Liquitex brand. That's the one that I showed you just a minute ago. So I am going to, yes.
So which purple do you use if you don't want to mix?
I just said Prism Violet.
Oh,
yeah.
I wasn't even listening.
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I answered it. And another one that's super hard to make is magenta. Okay, so I'm going to show you that one as well. And we are going to kind of use a little bit of magenta in this one. So again, magenta, this is just already mixed for you in a tube. You can buy it in the craft paints or whatever you want. But I'm going to go back to my quinacridone red again, and I'm going to show you. I'm not going to put blue in it this time.
Ooh.
I'm just going to use white. And watch what happens.
Uh-oh. No.
Dun, dun, dun. Very similar. It's not exact, but it's very similar. Maybe just a little bit more white. So this is without the blue. I don't know. There's just something about this quinacridone red that I've fallen in love with. And it's on my list of one of my favorite reds to use because it's so vibrant. And by itself, if you're wondering what the color looks like by itself, it's really hard to tell on, the camera, but you can see.
Is that semi or opaque?
These don't have it on the, it's transparent. It is a transparent color. So, they don't use the Utrecht doesn't use the little squares. I think this is like, I don't know what type of, it says it's handcrafted in Brooklyn, New York. So it's an American brand.
Hey.
Okay. But I don't know. I don't really know much about it. I just know I like it.
Where'd you buy it?
Where did I buy the Utrecht? Is it Blick? I have my affiliate link. Blick has Utrecht in it. It's not one you're going to find at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or anything like that. It's going to be a brand that's a little more difficult to find. So you're going to have to buy it online. All right. So now I have some better colors mixed together that I really want to use today. And I'm going to go ahead and start with them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my magenta. And I'm just going to start like, I'm sorry. Oh,
Sure.
I'm just going to start making some, I'm going to use a little bit of that dark red as well. And a little bit of my purple. And I'm just going to start making a few flowers just to kind of start filling some things in. And I'm going to start kind of dark at first. Then I'm going to start working my way a little bit lighter. I don't want all of my flowers to be, I know you can hardly see them right now with what I'm doing, but just give us a minute and they'll start showing up more. I don't want all of my flowers to be shaped the same. I want to have a lot of different varieties. So right now I'm just starting with just some almost like a daisy type flower. Nothing special, just having a lot of fun with it. And I think I'm going to put another one right here just for fun. Okay. Then I'm going to grab some white and I'm going to come back over them. Kind of like some little daisies is what it looks like I'm making. I'm just going to come back over them. This one is like a skinny little piece there. I don't know what that is. I don't know what I'm trying to make, but kind of looks like a flower, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay, so I like that. I'm going to clean that off. And I'm actually just going to start playing around and filling things in. So I feel like right now when I just look at it, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I don't feel like I have enough like the oranges and the reds on these flowers done yet. So I'm going to start going back over these flowers right here, these reds, and with the orange, and I'm just going to kind of start filling those in. See, this one hardly has anything on it. I'm just going to. So when I look at, I always pick up a reference photo from somewhere. I just look at it and I say to myself, well, what kind of flower am I trying to make right here on this piece? So remember I told you I just start picking up a bunch of different photos, and I just take that one photo and I try to use that one photo for maybe this one flower. Okay, and that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking if I were to look up a picture of a photo, this is the middle of the flower is kind of dark, and then as I go out further, I get a little bit lighter, and so I'm going to do that here as well. I'm going to bring in my reds, kind of the outside of it. For this one, let's spend a little bit of time on this one. I want this side to be dark. And then as I go to the right, I want it to get lighter and lighter. So I'm going to use a little bit of black because I want it to look like it's open in that way. So I'm going to use a little bit of black to make my red darker.
Got a question, Jean.
Okay.
Terraces that have quinacridone. Yes, magenta.
Red.
Bought it online in the tube. Is that what you're making with the quin red and white?
No, mine is quinacridone red. Oh. Yours is quinacridone magenta, which is it is beautiful. Quinacridone magenta is the bomb diggity of magenta. It's a really beautiful. I know which one you have. I don't have it, but I used to have it, and it is a beautiful, beautiful magenta color. You can add some white to it to kind of calm it down a little bit. Okay. So I'm also going to come down here to this flower and just add a little bit of those oranges in there as well. And then I have another one just hanging out over here. I'm going to give it some highlights. So I'm starting to like put the makeup on. Does that make sense? Like I'm just starting to decorate all around. It's going to take me a while, but I'm going to start filling in all of those gaps as we go, a little bit at a time. All right, and every time I'm still using the same paintbrush, but every time I'm wiping it off with a rag and I'm getting all the paint off of it. I'm not cleaning it in the water, but I'm just taking my rag and I'm wiping it off so that it's pretty clean, and I can start using it again pretty regularly without having to dip it in the water. All right, I want to start adding a little bit of a lighter yellow to my cadmium yellow. So I'm going to add some white to my cadmium yellow, and right on the tips of my sunflowers, I'm going to bring in a lighter color. Be careful because I'm working all over the place. So I've got some paint that's wet, some that's dry. And if I read in the Facebook group earlier, some of y'all were having trouble with transparency in your paints. And yes, that is very common, especially if you're trying to work on a red background like I have here. That's very common with your paints. Now you see this one I have right here. This is a heavy body acrylic, and it's got that square that they were talking about in the Facebook group. The square is solid. If it's a solid black square, that means that that's an opaque color. So this is cadmium-free yellow medium. Cadmium-free, they just started making the cadmium-free because I think California says that there's dangerous materials if it's not cadmium-free. So they started making cadmium-free, but if it's not cadmium-free, it's still the same. It just might say cadmium.
Question, Jen.
Yes.
Hey, my sunflowers look flat. How do you make yours look so upright?
You have to make sure that you use different values. Okay, notice that I have 3 different shades of yellow happening in my sunflowers. So you have to make sure you use all those different values to get that dimension that you want. I think that's what she's asking, right? And also, like we did you watch yesterday's video? If you watched yesterday's video, I talked about how to make these. I'm coming back with another layer because I feel like my yellow is a little bit too transparent. How to make these how to make it look like they're pointing up, and then using the
Yeah, you answered it for.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, make sure you see how close to the edge right there. I'm going to add another layer of it. I'm going to add a little bit more of the darker orangey kind of color right there. Just have fun with that.
Yeah, Diana said that one side on sunflowers is really hard. Mason, does the oval center on the ones facing upward help keep them from being flat?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Right on. Good question, huh?
Okay, I'm bringing in a little bit of my cad yellow in this flower as well to kind of mix that with the red that's wet, and it's going to start. I want to move it a little bit more over this way, and then get a little bit of that darker color in there. All right, let me clean that off. Let's see what else I want to work on. A little bit of that color right there. Let's go back back to some green. I think I want to add some more greenery because my green is kind of, I don't have a lot of it. So I am going to take this green, but I'm also going to take a dab of yellow and I'm going to make it even brighter. And I'm going to start coming in here and adding some more highlights to my green.
Yeah, Sandy made a good comment. I noticed that with paints I get in value kits, I have to repaint it 3 or more times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a
that's
great,
because
great
of
observation, Sandy.
Absolutely, it's because of the level of the quality of the paint is what it is. Yeah, and that's why I highly recommend, if you can afford it, start buying those tube paints, and you'll have a much more pleasant experience in your painting experience. Okay, I want a little bit of a darker green that's kind of olivey. So instead of like a bright grass green. So I'm adding some red to my green. And then I'm going to add some white. And I'm going to make a much more of an olive green. And y'all will be able to see it as I'm working here. It's just I'm just going to kind of calm it down a little bit because it's a little bit too bright for me. I don't like the really, really vibrant greens. All right, and I think what I'm going to start doing now is I'm going to clean that off, and I'm going to start on my purple flower in the middle. So I'm going to use a filbert brush for this. A filbert brush, which I haven't used in a long time. A filbert brush is, it's got a rounded edge at the end. Okay, you do not have to use a filbert brush for this. You can definitely just use a regular old paintbrush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making the bottom of that flower. And all I'm doing is I'm taking this purple paint, and you see how dark it is? I'm using this filbert brush, and all I'm doing is I'm just pushing down. You see how it makes that little round edge on the end? That's what a filbert brush does for you. And it's super fun to work with. What's wrong?
Word.
What?
Word.
What word?
Filbert.
Filbert. Oh, everybody's saying filbert. If you've been with us for a while, filbert is our nickname for everything that we do. I don't know. Explain it, Michael. You might be able to explain it better than I do.
Well, it's just, we love the name filbert.
We think it's funny.
Yeah, we believe filbert is a catchy name, something that we should all consider using as a pet name. And now it's a race. Anytime Ginger says the word filbert, we're like a bunch of school kids in our classroom. We all try to say filbert first. So
it's like a competition on who's going to type in the word filbert first whenever I say it. And so we're like it's like a big joke now.
Did you read that question from Curry?
No.
Over there on the right.
Curry, when you're painting, will you post both pictures for us to look at? When your painting is complete.
Oh.
I don't know.
That's why
what?
That's why I didn't read it out loud. I thought it was some new paint name.
Yes, I will. I will definitely post it. Okay, so that's going to be the beginning of my purple flower. It is definitely not perfect yet, but I've got a lot of wet paint on top of it. You can see all of the wetness that I have going on here. And I have to definitely make it a little bit lighter. It's probably too dark at the moment, but I'm going to have to let it dry a little bit before I play with it anymore. Okay. And
Oh, that's a good question.
one of the other things I'm going to do right now is probably what y'all have been waiting for, because it's time to start blocking in my background so I can start kind of feeling better where everything is located. There's a question?
Yeah, do you want us to not post pics after the 10th if we're slow?
Oh, no, please. That's staying open until February 20, what is it? 29th is the last day of February. Please post your photos in the group. The group is going to stay active. Okay. All right. So here we go. I'm starting to block in my my background. I'm gonna have to be very careful, and I'm going really, really light. I'm using that turquoise, that bright aqua green, and I'm bringing in a lot of white in it to make it like super light. And I want you to just watch how I'm going to do this. I'm using an angle brush. It's like a flat brush, but it has a little bit of a tip on the end of it. And the reason why I'm using it with a tip is because with that little tip, I can kind of get in here a little bit better. Okay. And y'all can probably already see that my paints are a little bit transparent, and I know why. It's because my Stay Wet palette is too wet and my paints got kind of runny overnight. So I'm going to add some new paint so that y'all can see.
Right on.
That's exactly what happened. So my Stay Wet palette, I know I talk about this all the time. My Stay Wet palette is too moist. You see how moist it is? I still have water in it that you can see. Okay, my Stay Wet palette's too moist. And when your Stay Wet palette is too moist, which I'm still learning because I just started using this, my paint that I kept in here overnight got too runny. And when it gets too runny, it makes your paint really transparent. So I'm still working on learning how to use my Stay Wet palette. It is a challenge for me. I don't know why it's such a challenge for me, but it has really, really been a challenge for me. So now that I'm taking some new white paint, and I'm going to take some new turquoise paint as well. I'm going to have to go let a lot of water out of this Stay Wet palette.
Do you want me to do it?
I need the palette to paint with. So I'll just have to do it later. Thank you, though.
Carlotta says, I don't remember. I can't remember what we did to make the red flowers that color. Can you refresh me?
We used cadmium yellow and pyro red.
Pyro red.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fire red. Hey, Kathy Dickerson?
Yeah. So I'm just filling in. And the easiest way to fill this in is to turn your canvas as you go in. I'm going to move my palette out the way. So I can turn it as I'm working.
Oh, Robin. Y'all make my world so much better and brighter. Thank you. You heard that?
Oh, that's so sweet. Y'all make our world better and brighter too. All right, nothing perfect. I like the red showing through. So that's one of the ways for some of y'all who notice how people have like those colors showing through on their painting. You see how I'm not going like really, really close to the edge. I'm kind of going close to the edge, but you're still going to be able to see that red poking through. And that's the beauty of this. Is called negative painting. Okay. I'm doing the background after my actual subject is on the palette, on the painting surface. So it's like working backwards, kind of. And if you start playing around with it in your paintings and trying it, you shall see how awesome it starts working. I don't use it all the time. It depends on what colors I'm using.
Did you paint the sides yet, Brooke?
The sides, it's a thin canvas, so.
But you normally do paint the sides.
Yeah, if I have a thick canvas, yes, I paint the sides as well. At the same time, because if you don't paint it at the same time and you forget what colors you use to mix that color, then your sides will end up being a different color. So I would do it when I'm painting my actual painting. See how I have these little holes in here with the red? I'm going to add some of that. Not everywhere, because some of it I'm still not done. So I'm going to bring in some more leaves, and I might even cover up some of this aqua. But for now, I'm just going to add this layer here. A little bit there.
Question, do we need to paint the background or keep it the original color we did on day one? I can answer that one actually, right?
Yeah.
You're going to paint the background.
I'm painting the background right now. I'm not sure I understand. If you want to keep it red, then you can keep it red. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, yeah, Sandy didn't know about paint. Remember we asked this question last night. Why didn't you paint the background first? And it seemed like it's going to be very difficult to paint in between. And you said just trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
Watch what I do. I'm going to paint in between everything.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so you see how that added those little areas there? I just love the way it looks when you do that. And that's just all I'm doing is I'm just showing you different types of techniques. You can do whatever you want. If you don't want to paint the red background first, then please don't feel like I'm forcing you to do that. It's totally, totally up to you. Okay? All right. So now I feel a lot better about what I have going on. Can y'all see how it just kind of pulled everything together?
Mm-hmm.
And now we can see, all right, now we're ready to move forward. Let's go ahead and attack this thing. I'm going to go back to my flat brush. Okay, which obviously, I don't know where my flat, okay, I'm going to use this one. This is a flat brush, a Princeton Velvet Touch number 12.
You got a couple right here.
Oh, okay. Oh, perfect. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start just kind of working in a little bit more to kind of like freshen up my flowers. Okay. So I'm going back to the yellow. The order that I'm doing things is not a particular order that you have to do. It's just as I'm studying my flowers and I'm seeing things that I need to do, I'm just doing them. So one of the things I see right here is this flower is dead. It doesn't even look like it shows as part of the actual flower. See how dead this one is? You know why it's dead? Because there's only one color right there and there's nothing else making it come alive. So I've got to make that come alive. And the way that I'm going to make it come alive is I'm going to start adding some, that's way too dark. I'm going to start adding some different colors in it to pull in a variety of depth. And that depth is going to make that flower come alive. Okay?
Nice.
So I'm using a lot of yellows and reds and oranges to make things start popping. Okay, so here's some yellow, lots of yellow in here. Really loose. Keep it really loose. And then let's go back into our magenta and our pinks. Okay, so I'm going to grab some more pink. I'm just going to, let's bring this flower a little crazy right here. I'm going to make it come a little bit bigger. So I'm filling in. I'm filling in some holes that I see that I have.
Oh, they're loving it, Jen.
All right, here we go. We're adding a little bit more down here. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, I like those little, I don't know, like cone flowers or something. So I feel like I want another cone flower somewhere. And you know what? I feel like this right here would be a good spot for another kind of like a cone flower coming through. And let's add some white on it to make it pop even more. See how I'm just touching those colors there?
Just so you know, the very top of the canvas.
Can't see it?
Just
okay. All right, let's bring in some more highlights on my pink.
Perfect, Boo. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for letting me know.
No, thank you.
Thank you. we have a LG TV, and I know this is like totally off subject, but they say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it sounds like thank you, but they say thank you in the LG commercials or something. I don't know.
Thank you.
I'm like, I could swear they're saying thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm trying to highlight those pinks. See how I'm making those pink flowers shine a little bit more?
Doing a little swirl there.
I'm doing a little swirly dance on them. White, bring in some white. Get them to pop a little more. I know I work fast, y'all. I work better when I work fast. My pieces, I don't know. I guess it's my style. I just kind of work better when I work fast. So I'm sorry if I'm going kind of fast. But you can always put it on pause and replay and, you know, get the gist of what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to stop for a second and I'm going to talk to y'all about what I have going on here. I need some more purples. First of all, this is way too dark. I need to lighten that up. My pinks are not balanced enough. I've got a little bit too much on this side and not enough on this side. So I'm going to add a pink down here, and I'm actually going to bring in some of the purple with it. So I'm going to bring in another flower down here with some pinks and purples.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
What colors can you mix to get turquoise color for the background?
Blue and green and a lot of white.
No.
Mm-hmm. All right. Bringing in some lighter shades for this purple right here. Gonna go with another layer on top. Kind of fill in.
Oh. How big is that canvas that you use?
11 by 14. Okay, so I only have purple here. My thoughts are I need a little bit of that purple to play around so that I have more going on. So I do want a little bit right here. I'm just spreading it out. Let's bring in a little bit right here on these pink flowers. Just trying to spread out the love.
Susie.
What's wrong?
Susie says my purple flower looks like a pine cone.
Mine does too. It actually does. But we're gonna fix that in a minute. We're still playing. We're still playing. It's so much fun to play. Okay, let's see. I need some more. Oh, I have a white. Let's bring in some white. Yes, that will work really well. I need some clean white though. I'm gonna bring in a little white here. That'll kind of calm things down a little bit. I still feel like this needs some more white. Let's add some more white here. And right there. I'm filling in. Do y'all see how I'm just kind of filling in? Filling in some gaps, filling in some holes. Some of my flowers need a center, so I'm going to go around and start filling in some centers. I'm just using black actually, y'all. Nothing more than black. Need some centers there. You can use green, you can use whatever you want. Okay, it's starting to come to life. Still not there yet. We still have a lot of work to do. So these are those kind of things I'm trying to teach you is you gotta just take your time and trust the process. The center of this flower is way too in our face. So I've got to calm it down. This black, and I'm just using a little bit of that yellow and orange, and I'm just allowing that to kind of soften that black center. That's way too much.
Those centers make the flowers pop.
Yeah, didn't they? They just actually kind of came together, you know. Let's get some more green. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take some black and yellow, and I'm going to make a green that's darker. Black and yellow, and I'm going to mix the green in it. I want to bring in more green area. And I need some clean green. Clean green. I'm going to take my filbert brush for this. Filbert brush. Filbert. And I'm going to mix some yellow and green together. And I'm actually going to start shaping some of these leaves a little bit better. I'm filling in some gaps, little holes there with some green. This leaf looks like, I don't like the way it's doing, so I'm going to kind of fix it and make it come like this. I'm going to make some little twigs kind of coming down here. And I'm going to make like some twigs up here just coming out.
Elise says, why filbert not a round or flat?
Just my preference, because the end of the leaf that I'm making, I want the end of the leaf to kind of have a curve to it. But you can use a flat, it'll work as well. All right, I'm coming back again to my greens. I'm going to take a step back. Need some lighter colors in there. So I'm coming back with some highlights. I'm using white and sap green. All right. Clean that off. And then I'm going to study it again.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to ask myself, what's missing? What's not there? What's there? What do I want more of? What do I want less of? Do I want some branches, kind of like some, you know, like bring in a little
Some
bit
greenery.
of, maybe not greenery, maybe just like, just a different vibe. Do I want to make lines in my leaves to where I have a little more veininess? You know, how much detail do I want? Do I want more action on my leaves? I'm not crazy about my sunflowers, and I know why. Because they're not bright enough. Like the white is not bright enough for me. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to go back to my flat brush and I'm going to bring in a little bit of white right on the tips. This is not a good brush either. Let's try this one. See how that white just made it pop? And I'm not trying to be perfect. Just kind of adding.
And let me ask you this: how serious are you about making it look like the first one?
I'm trying. Am I not succeeding?
Oh no, I'm just asking.
I'm trying.
You know, by the way, there's a gap on the right side that needs a flower.
Oh, you're comparing them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's also a comment, but I noticed it right there in the like 3 o'clock position.
Okay. 3 o'clock right here.
Yeah.
There is a gap. That is a huge gap, isn't there? You see, I didn't even see it before until y'all just pointed it out to me. See how sometimes you just have to study? You have to study it to, you know, see what you want to see. So there's a huge gap. So let me add a little yellow right there. I think that'll be nice because the only yellow that I have in the whole painting is the sunflowers. So let's try to bring in a little more of maybe like a little daisy.
I do too, Diane. I like the white flower on top above the sunflower too.
Oh yeah, that one is pretty. I don't know if I left myself enough room to do that. What do you think?
Well, you could always just show whatever, what part of it.
I'll try to fit it.
Oh yeah, Rhoda says on the original there's a red flower on the edge on the right side.
Yeah, this one right here. Mm-hmm. It went away. Let's bring it back.
Make it jump.
Let's bring it back to the front. It's kind of like hiding right here. So let's bring it back to the front. We can just go back over it. Bring it back to the front. It's kind of leaning down.
Also the red flower on the top of the base at the center.
Okay. Good. Well, let's kind of make it back the way we want it to be.
Oh, that was a good idea, Mason. Some baby breath.
Oh, baby breath will look so good.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I love baby's breath. Okay, let's bring this flower up front again a little bit. Yeah, baby's breath will break up the big pieces. You know what I'm saying? So the white flower up top might be a challenge. You might have to just come in really little.
Yep, I
Little
agree,
bit of
Becky.
green.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And then you see where we came from? I'm going to make this into a little white rose as well.
Need a shadow too, right?
Yeah, we hadn't gotten there
I'm
yet.
sorry. What am I? I shouldn't.
No, it's okay. It takes longer than I think people realize, you know, to do something like this. We're going to make this into a little rose. Just a little bit of pinkish. Might have to do a couple of layers on that. And I really like the idea of the baby's breath. We're going to go with kind of like a almost white. I'm just adding a little bit of green to it. And like right here, I see a good little spot where I can add some more. Maybe even down here. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Just go for it. This is my third layer on this. Sorry, y'all. That was our dog. Can you please take her out?
I can't. Come on.
Thank you. Sorry. I am in the zone right now, so Michael took her out. Okay, that's bringing that more to life, as you can tell. A little bit more.
I think I pulled a muscle in my back jumping. Sandy says, wow, this is beautiful.
Still working it. See how you just have to kind of layer over layer over layer over layer over layer.
Over there.
Okay, so we're going to take a step back. I am not liking this sunflower right here. I got to work on her or it or him. And watch what I'm going to do. Okay, so the first thing, I'm looking at this sunflower, and when I take a step back and I look at that sunflower, it's not pleasant to me. It does not look good. So I'm going to kind of reshape it really quick. And this is the last thing we're going to do for tonight. And then we'll come back tomorrow and finish off the shading and stuff like that. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reshape it a little bit right at the base. Just almost going to kind of redo it. Right at the base here. Going to bring back in some petals, reshape them. I think I'm just too big. My petals are too fat or something. Not sure what it is, but I'll figure it out as I go. All right, that's already better. I'm not sure what I did, but it just worked. I just kind of reshaped the yellow, and then gonna add some variety of colors. My hat's not in the way, is it? I feel like I'm leaning in a lot.
It doesn't look like it.
All right, and then I'm gonna reshape. I'm looking for my black. Where's my black? I need some black, and I'm having trouble finding my black. Hang on one second. This might work. This is an ivory black, but it's very transparent. Let's see if I can make that work. I'm reshaping my circle right on the edge.
Kristen just bought her first filbert brush.
Woohoo!
She
Yay!
has no idea how she lived life without.
Isn't that funny, Christian? That's so funny. I love it. Just bringing in, I'm mixing green and red together to make kind of like a dark brown center instead of a solid black. So I'm just mixing green and red and making like a really dark brown. You know, almost see the green on my paintbrush there. Okay, I'm still not liking it, but maybe I'll figure it out by tomorrow.
Mm.
I don't know what it is. I think my center is too big. I think that might be what it is. So I'll look at it overnight and I'll try to figure it out. But something's not right about that sunflower. My petals are too wide, maybe. I don't know. I just can't figure it out what it is.
I do want to tell you, trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Right.
All right.
Maybe I need more thinner petals. I'm going to try that real quick. Like instead of them being so fat, maybe I can make them thinner. Maybe that'll make me happy. Actually, it does look better already. Okay, I'm starting to like it a little more. That might have been my problem. My petals were too fat, maybe. I'm almost done. I keep on saying I'm almost done.
Yep. You heard me clear my throat?
Yes, I heard you. You're ready
You know
for
what that means, right?
Yes, I know what that means. Stop playing with it, Ginger. Stop playing with it. But that did fix it. I feel like I fixed it. All right. That's much better. Okay, I gotta stop. You see how you get like all caught up in it, and before you know it, it's like, what? All right, so I think we're gonna call it a day. What do y'all think?
Love it.
It's coming along. It does not look, look, and you will never Let me just bring this up so y'all can see. You will never make the same exact painting twice. As hard as you try, see that big sunflower? That sunflower needs help. It's way too big. I need to make it smaller. And to make it smaller, I just need to trim it down some, you know? So here's where we are. You can still see that there's some work that needs to be done. They are, you know, they're getting there, but they're not there completely.
Emma says if you could make the pot larger and longer because we have big flowers, sweetie.
The pot needs to be fatter, huh? We're going to fix that too. We'll fix that tomorrow. Tomorrow, what we're going to be doing is we're going to come back and really, really tie it all together. So yeah, maybe one of the things is our pot needs to be fatter for mine anyway. Yours might not look anything like mine. I'm going to take a picture of mine and put it in the Facebook group for y'all to analyze it with me. Okay. Yeah, maybe our pot needs to be wider because this flower is super big. And what else was I thinking? Oh, we need to just soften it up a little bit and add our shadows. We have not added our shadows, and we haven't added all of those good pieces that are really going to make it more 3D than it is right now. Okay? It's fun. What's so much fun about it is that I'm painting this live with y'all, and I don't really know how it's going to come out because I'm not using a template. And I'm just trying to teach you all of the techniques. And sometimes, some days it comes out great, and I'm like, look what I did. And other days, I'm like, ugh, we need to work on this. So it happens to all of us, okay?
Right.
It happens to all of us. Do you want to?
Yeah, I want to come over there and say hello.
All right, come on over. Come on over, Michael.
Hey, everyone. We thank you so much for being here tonight. You know, tomorrow's Friday, day 9.
Oh, and it's at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're going live at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
So if you have to call in sick at work, it's okay. Or either don't work, but at work, watch the live. Hey, we love all of you, and we thank you for being here. I know there's a ton of questions that I may not have gotten to, but listen, just send them. And if you got any questions, also email support. And we really hope that you enjoy what you're seeing, and we hope that you want to become a part of our tribe. And if you don't, that's okay. We love you anyway. Right on?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So let's pray.
All right.
All right. Oh, holy God in heaven, tonight we thank you, God, for being with us as we do this painting, as we try to share love and kindness and peace and joy and the gift that you have given us all. Lord, we love you and we thank you for the blessings of life, and we would ask that you watch over all of our tribe sisters and our new friends. Guide them into this Friday and into this weekend. For it is in Jesus Christ's name that we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Right.
Thank you all so much for being here and for hopefully having fun with us and staying active in the group. I'm so excited that y'all have made this such a huge success. And tomorrow is day 9 at 10 a.m. live. So I will see you. You will be working.
I gotta work.
He's going to be working. I'll be by myself. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.